Hey you guys, I wanted to show you how to make this clasp. Let me zoom that in a bit. I want to show you how to make this clasp for your bracelet. If you want, of course, you can keep the knots on there, but I really don't like the knots because I'm, as I said, not 12 years old anymore. I would like to have some clasps on my friendship bracelet. So this is the way that I'm going to make that knot. Well, I'm not going to show you all the way. Actually, there's a website that explains this much better than I can, but I want to show you what I start with before this little bead end clasp gets added. So what I do is I take a piece of leftover thread like that, and I put that on a head pin with a loop. Like this is more, I think it's called an eye pin instead. Okay, so I'm going to put that on my big eye needle. There. And then I'm going to, let me zoom that out a bit, maybe make it a little sharper. I'm going to go into the loop, and I'm going to go all the way around till this thread is all the way around that loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, and it doesn't have to be pretty because you're not going to see this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, let me see how often it goes in there, 11, can we hear 12? Yes, it's about 12 times, and then that loop is pretty much filled up. Maybe we can do 13. No, that would be an unlucky number. We're not going to do that. Okay. I weave this part of the bracelet, and now I'm going to take my needle off, and I'm going to put this head pin under my weaved part. Determine where about you want that clasp to start. Okay, so I want it to start about here, and I'm going to take these two threads. I'm going to do a double knot. But here I want it to start. 1, 2. Okay. Now, as I double knotted that pin, I want to try and straighten it out. That goes that way with the rest of the remaining bracelet. And I'm going to take these two threads. I'm going to go around 1, 2, and that's above the eye of the needle, the eye of the pin there. And I'm going to do the other one also 2 times. Try and hold them in place. It's pretty difficult to do with one hand. If you need help, just ask somebody that's around to help you out with that. And I'm going to double knot that again. So that's right above the eye of the head, the pin, the head pin, not head pin. When it has an eye, it's called differently. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to knot that another 2 times all the way on the bottom. 1, 2. I'm going to try and get that down as far as possible. I'm going to try and keep that straight. Okay, and now we're going to get a bead. Now, I wouldn't use my Miyuki beads for this normally, but they come in handy right now because they're right next to me. So just put a little bit of a bigger bead on there. You can use scrappy beads because this is not going to show, okay? And now just push that little bead down, and then just go around it a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And take the other thread and go around it in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, and then again double knot above the seed bead that I just put on. And tighten it up real good. 1 and 2. There. Now, I have to cover pretty much this area. So, first I'm going to cut off these extensive threads. Don't cut it too close to the to where you just tied all that up, but just cut it off. Just leave a little bit of space. See, I got a little bit here left over that will go into the bead that I made here. So we're going to cut off these two, not too far. Just leave a little bit of space. There. And the next thing we do is we're going to set up and do the peyote stitch. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show you right now how to do that. And take delicas, which are beads that are, they look round, but they're not really. They're kind of a square bead compared to the seed bead. Let me put the seed bead next to it, or let me put a same size seed bead next to it that you can see the difference. I don't know if you can. Let me see if that will focus up a little bit on my... Okay, see? There's a difference between the delica bead, which is the white bead, and the gold bead, which is a seed bead, okay? So you need the delica beads, and they're from Miyuki. You can get them online. I get most of my stuff on eBay, including my seed beads. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up to make this bead cap, and we need about, half an arm span wide of fire line, and I use number 6.660. Okay, that's what I use. You can also use wildfire, or you can use Ceylon. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to just show you now how to set up the peyote, and then I'm going to redirect you to another website that will show you how to make this bead cap, but it doesn't show you how to do the peyote, so I'm going to show that to you. Okay, now I need about this wide to get this whole thing around it, so I need 10 delica beads to start with. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to slide those down on my thread. I'm going to leave about this much space in the thread, and I'm going to pick up a delica, and I'm going to go skip this bead, and I'm going to go into the second bead here and just push that through. And then we're going to straighten that out so that you get this, like a little triangle. Okay, we're going to pick up another bead and skip one bead that is on there and go through the next. And these first 2 rows are the most difficult to do, but after that it will get easier. There. See, so you got 2 stacked on top of each other, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1. So we're going to take another delica bead and put it in there, and we're going to close that up, basically. There. And if you have 10 beads on there, you got an even number to start with, and that's important because you need an even number to make the bead cap at the end. So another one, because there's also an uneven peyote stitch, but you don't want to do that. You want to do the even. And we're going to do the last one. And then we're going to turn that around. And we're going to do that again. So now you see that you need delica beads in between here to fill up these holes. So that's what we're going to do. Going to pick one up. And we're going to go through the next. I'm going to pick up another one. Go through the next. Pick up another one. Go through the next. Pick up another one. And we're going to go through the next. And we're going to pick up another one. Now what we need to do is to make this long enough so it will fit all the way around this knot and this bead. So this area that you don't want to show, basically. Okay, so go do a couple of rows of those, and then I'll show you how to fit that around and close that up. You need an even amount of rows, like that way. So, and the way you can tell if you did an even amount of rows is when one thread is on the bottom and one thread is on the top. Then you have an even amount of rows. If both threads are on the bottom, then, or on the top for that matter, then it's uneven. Okay, so now we're going to measure if that fits. Yep, that fits. So let's close it up. What we're going to do is we're going into this bead now on the other side. Can you guys see that? I wish I had used another color beads. But you're going to go across to the other side into the first bead. And then you're going to go back and you're going to go into the first bead on the other side, on the top row. So you're going to go there. And you're just going to zigzag your way to the end, because now I'm not pulling this yet because I want to show you. I'm going to go into this one again, but I have to pull it close now, because if I don't, then it's not going to be in place. And you can just kind of push them together like this. If you push them together like this, you can easily see which bead you need to go into. I'm going to go into the second one on one side, and then the second on the other side. And then the third on the one side, and the third on the other side. Now, if you have if you used different fabric, you might need to make these bigger, or maybe even smaller if you used other thinner thread than I did. So we're going one on one side. That's the fourth, and the fourth. And then the fifth, and the fifth, and then we are on top. But now it's not really close, so we need to go back to the other side. So we're going to go into the first one here. I hope you can see that. Not too difficult. Else the other video will show it to you again. Gonna get that one. And we're going to just do the same as what we just did. I'm just now going to just pick up 2 beads. So that was where I crossed over, so now I'm going to go back in there. There, I got 2 beads. And another 2 beads. And another 2 beads. I think I'll go get, I'll buy some bigger delica beads just to make this easier to show, because this must be really hard. Okay. Now that's it for how you close it up. Just click the link that pops up now and just see how they edit the top, and then do the same on the other side. And you can, if you left your thread long enough, you can use the other thread for that, or you can just use the same thread, just go across to the other side, depends on what you like. So the video will show you how to do the top, how to close this up, and you just have to do the other side also to close that up. Okay, because that doesn't show in the video, but once you get this, you will get this too. Okay, well that's it for me, beaders. I'm going away for a couple of days now, so I will see you when I get back from England. Bye-bye.